Would you rather have a pleasant memory that never happened? Or would you rather have a wonderful experience you'll never remember? Hi, I'm David Barron. Want to welcome you to the University of Hypnotism. Wanted to talk today about a topic I've been sort of pondering recently, the topic of time distortion and hypnosis. First of all, let's talk a little bit about what time distortion is. I want to talk also about how it relates to hypnosis and how you as a hypnotist can use and augment and improve the experience for your clients using time distortion. First of all, time distortion in the simplest terms is confusion about how much time has passed. So it can be experienced as, one example, as though you've been in this wonderful eternity of blissful silence, but only a few moments have passed. Or it can seem as though you've been there only 20 minutes, but a whole hour has passed, or sometimes just 5 minutes and a whole hour has passed. Keep in mind, when we're talking about time distortion, to talk about how we as human beings experience time, how we perceive it. Keep in mind, we do not have in our heads any sort of internalized clock, so we cannot, like some sort of automaton, perceive time like a digital watch. So what normally, in fact, the only thing we do have to perceive time is circadian rhythms. Night and day, when we get sleepy, hunger, thirst, and fatigue. Things like that are how we perceive time. So the way that we also perceive time is by continuously returning to a state of self-reflection. In other words, we say to ourselves, okay, I'm here now, and then time will pass, and we go, okay, I'm here now again, and between now and then we have to sort of guess as to how much time has passed. So time distortion is sort of a part of how we live our lives. We feel as though time is normally passing in some sort of way, but there's no real guarantee about it. Also, considering whether something is pleasant or unpleasant is going to affect how we perceive time. If something is incredibly unpleasant, we're going to be constantly doing our self-reflection, saying, gotta still feel terrible, so not much time has passed, and so on, and it goes like that. Albert Einstein had a quote trying to describe the relativity of time. It had something to do with when we're kissing a beautiful woman, it seems like only an instant passes, but if we're sitting on a stove, it feels like an eternity. Now, how this relates to hypnosis has to do with the fact that, first of all, there are no clocks in the hypnotic state. Your eyes are closed, you are not paying attention to the time, and also you have the hypnotist who is directing the experience. What I want you to do as I talk about this is consider what the experience is as a hypnosis subject. It will help you incredibly, hypnotist, when you're applying this to help your clients. So in hypnosis, there is no experience of time directly. You're just guessing at best, and to the degree that the hypnotist can take over the experience that the subject is having, he can completely distort the perception of time. There are some things that I have here listed that will help incredibly create strong experiences of time distortion. And keep in mind, time distortion, as long as we're not paying attention to ourselves, our personal experience and who we are and what we're experiencing at this moment, we're not aware of time. So there are a couple ways of distorting the perception of time. My favorite one, and the one that works the very best, and I'm pretty consistent with how this works and when I teach it, is to link strong pleasure to a sense of focus. so that as you're focusing more and more, you feel better and better. That is what I define deeper. I have this phrase I use all the time, a lot. The deeper you go, the better you feel, and the better you feel, the deeper you go. And it creates an ongoing sort of cycle in which you have this incredible experience and you feel better and better by focusing more and more. Because you're feeling better and focusing in this particular way, you are not paying attention to the passage of time. A couple of other suggestions, hypnotic suggestions you can use to induce time distortion is a simple one-word suggestion, which is forget. And often I will just sort of work it into the hypnosis process. You're going deeper and deeper, feeling better and better. Forget. Trust your subconscious mind now to do its perfect work. I will also use these 3 words, which is stop all thought. Those 2 suggestions, forget and stop all thought, create a confusion so your attention totally moves away from the awareness of time. I've also found that the comfortable sensation of falling, if I were to suggest that, again, it draws your attention away from perceptions of time to perceptions of weightlessness and falling and pleasure. And I will work it into a hypnosis session it will sort of come out of the blue and go somewhere, just as long as you say that pleasant sensation of falling. It brings it into their awareness and they start to experience it. I will do it something like this, and going deeper and deeper, feeling better and better, and because that wonderful sensation of falling links you further into the subconscious mind, you can just continue now to go deeper and deeper and deeper. So, sentence in there, it isn't really linked to anything, but because you're suggesting the pleasant sensation of falling, you're going to suggest it and they'll begin to experience it. Also, if you can create anticipation, and anticipation is going to create an incredible amount of focus away from time. In fact, they will want to shorten time because they're anticipating it. I have a process, it's a complex deepener that I got from my mentor, Jeff Stevens. It's called Passing Through Zero, where I have them envision a zero, a beautiful zero off in the future, and I will tell them as I count from 5 down to 0. You'll move closer to that 0, and when you reach 0, you'll pass through it, feeling so incredible, so wonderful. You really want to go through that 0. And as I begin to count down, I build the anticipation. So I'll start off 5. You really want to go through there. You really want to go through there. 4. You can feel the anticipation growing stronger and stronger. 3. You realize it's through there is even more amazing and incredible than you ever had imagined. 2. You're getting closer. Now you feel every part of you just screaming for you to get through there. 1. You're almost there. 0, pass through it. And the wonderful thing, when you do this, you're going to find a lot of your hypnosis subjects will begin to focus more and more. You'll see their eyebrows sort of furrow, which is the sign of focus and concentration. It's one of the micro expressions that I always look out for, and it lets me know they are really involving themselves in the experience. I will also suggest sometimes it creates a bit of amnesia, which will also create time distortion, and that is, I will suggest that after I've done all of the change work in the hypnosis session, I will suggest to them that, and even though now it seems like though it were all a dream, you feel wonderful and know that something powerful has taken place. So by suggesting it were a dream, suggesting that it all fades into the experience of life, then it becomes one of those things that sort of fades like a dream, but you know something dramatic has taken place. Now, the very last thing that I like to use to augment, to really strengthen the experience of time distortion, is I will, at the end, just before I do the Awakener, I will let them know that, I will say to them that even though this seemed like only a few moments have passed, you'll be amazed at how wonderful you feel. So again, I'll say, even though it seems as though a few moments have passed, you'll be amazed at how wonderful you feel. So those are the things I do to augment the whole experience of time distortion with my clients. Now, let's assume you don't do any of this. Time distortion is pretty much a natural phenomena of hypnosis. They're going to experience it in one degree or another. Let me tell you why it's of particular use and how you can benefit using this with. Any dramatic experience from hypnosis is going to prove to the client that something amazing has taken place, that something very strong is controlling them and taking over. When you actually directly have them experience time distortion, and you say at the end, how much time do you think passed? And they say, oh, it felt like 10 minutes, but like 45 minutes took place. It proves to them as a convincer that something, that they were hypnotized, that something very dramatic, very powerful has taken place. That is the real benefit to the client. And anything, I think Tony Robbins once said that any amazing thing that happens within a 5-mile radius, take credit for it. So my job as a hypnotist is to have the hypnosis subject experience amazing and incredible things, and then to use that to prove that they were hypnotized. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I welcome your questions. If you have any questions regarding hypnosis and how to use it, University of Hypnotism is a channel tube that I am going to continue to add to on a weekly basis. And what I'd like you to do, if you have questions, put them in there below. Make sure you like button, maybe it's over here, like button, and share it with anyone you know who is interested in hypnosis. Thank you. I'm looking forward to any questions that you have for me. Take care. We'll talk soon.